final round of the 2025 Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship, Vertex Oil International Rally of Whangarei. But it's an all-new look for the iconic event, still based in the northern gateway city of Whangarei, but with stages around the west coast town of Dargaville for day one, before day two once again heads south of the city for a new route using classic WRC stages. The championship hangs in the balance, Ben Hunt and Robbie Stokes, who will be crowned our 2025 Nzrc champion.
The 2025 Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship started with Rally Otago back in April, with the Scooters of Ben Hunt and Robbie Stokes expected to dominate. But it was Jack Stokes, driving the family-owned AP4 Fiesta, who won the first stage and led Ben Hunt over the first 5 stages before losing the lead over the final stages of the day to Hunt. Then on day 2, Jack Stokes once again led the way with 2 stage wins before retiring when a stick lodged into his radiator. But Hunt wasn't having it easy, with Robbie Stokes coming to grips with his Rally 2 Skoda, pulling in Hunt on the Vertex stage in the morning to lead the rally by 0.1 of a second going into the final stage at Currybush, with a huge crowd watching the two drivers gave it all. But a missed gear change by Robbie cost him, and the win went to Hunt by just 2.7 seconds after 14 stages.
Round 2 was hosted by the South Canterbury Car Club over one day with a mix of super fast stages and a tricky forest road for the first and final stages. Ben Hunt made a blinding start to take an early lead over Canterbury driver Josh Marston in his AP4 Holden, while Robbie Stokes struggled with handling issues and spun twice. Hunt extended his lead on the morning stages, while Marston faced a challenge from the AP4 Toyota Yaris, Jack Hawkswood. Second run through the forest at the end of the day, Hawkswood retired, Hunt taking the win from Marston, Robbie Stokes coming back to take third.
Lone Star Rally Canterbury was round 3, and this time it was the Canterbury drivers Robbie Stokes, Jack Stokes and Josh Marston who were determined to keep Hunt at bay. Robbie Stokes took the lead through Ashley Forest ahead of Josh Marston, with Hunt 16 seconds behind. Marston's car stopped on stage 3. Hunt moved to second, still 16 seconds behind Stokes, where he would remain all day. Stokes taking his first NZRC round win, Hunt in second and Jack Stokes third.
Round 4, ITM Gold Rush Rally Coromandel. As the drivers returned to the North Island, and as predicted, Rally 2 Skodas were the car to beat at this event. Hunt used his knowledge of these stages to take an early lead over Robbie Stokes, who last competed here in a 2-wheel drive Ford Fiesta. But Stokes took a stage win to close within 4 seconds, while Jack Stokes moved past Jack Hawkswood and Josh Marston to take third. That's how they would end the day, with Hunt now 11 points ahead of the championship battle.
Battery Town Rally Bay of Plenty would be crucial to Robbie Stokes' championship challenge. He was in striking distance over the morning stages, less than 4 seconds behind Hunt. But a mistake driving into service at Kawerau and then redressing that incorrectly saw him excluded from the event, despite being the fastest over the afternoon stages. So Hunt took the win from Jack Stokes and Jack Hawkswood, with Josh Marston missing the final podium spot by just 4.2 seconds.
So that puts Ben Hunt in a commanding position, needing just 3 points at Rally Whangarei to secure that title. Robbie Stokes in second, despite that exclusion, with 117 points. Josh Marston third on 108. Jack Hawkswood fourth with 93.
Ben, you're on the cusp of another title. What would that mean to you?
Yeah, obviously it would be a pretty big deal for the team. They all put a lot of hard work into it, and all the sponsors and everyone that makes this campaign happen. But we also, want to have an awesome rally and get to the finish. And there's no Hayden here this year, so a good chance at actually taking the overall rally win in Whangarei.
A surprise in the pre-rally start when Jack Hawkswood arrived in his brand new Toyota Yaris Rally 2. And after a massive crash at Bay of Plenty, destroying his car, Caleb McDonald had been loaned a car by his competitor, Ben Hubin.
The Evo's not looking too good, and we didn't really have a chance of getting it fixed to make it here for the last round. So Ben Hubin, a fellow competitor of mine in Category 5, the 4-wheel drive challenge class, he very kindly put his hand up and said, hey, we need you to be at the last round, and I've got an H6 sitting here and it's already in Whangarei, so yeah, come and jump in and come and have some fun. So Ben's been a legend, and he's basically given us full access to the car, and we're now at the start line, which we didn't think we'd be able to do 3 weeks ago.
The Saturday stages were based around the port town of Dargaville on the Wairoa River on the northern tip of the Kaipara Harbour. The district stretches from the east coast surf beach at Mangawhai across the west coast and north to the Waipoua Kauri forest, home of the mighty Tāne Mahuta. Dargaville was a hub for forestry and gum digging in the late 19th century and early 20th century. As the swampy land was drained, it was farmed and then established as the home of the kumara, production based at nearby Ruawai. These days, both the port at Dargaville and Ruawai is home to recreational boating and fishing. In 2001, Ruawai was the centre of the WRC World as the team serviced in the small town on day 2 of what was then Propecia Rally New Zealand, and it's the same roads through the hills inland of the towns which will provide the action on day 1 of the Vertex Oil International Rally of Whangarei.
Stage 1 at Tatoki is the most northern stage. Stage 2 is just north of Dargaville town and will repeat as Stage 3 following the first service. The power stage is inland from Ruawai and Stage 5 is Toka. Both these stages featured on Rally Dargaville in 2024 and in the WRC in the late 90s. After a repeat run that becomes 6 and 7, the day will finish back in Whangarei with the famous Poe Island Superstage. Predicted dusty, dry conditions meant the cars would leave at 2-minute intervals. So Ben Hunt will have a dust-free run at the head of the field, but he will be sweeping that loose gravel, which will cost time. But at the stage start, it's raining lightly. Probably good news for both Hunt and Stokes behind him. Robbie Stokes can only win the title if Ben Hunt scores no points across the event, so his focus is on the rally win. Can Jack Stokes bookend his season with his first round win today? There are certainly rumours that the AP4 Fiesta may well be the fastest car on these day 1 stages.
Short 4 left, pass into short 5 right, 30. Long 6 right, tight and high, short 4.
With a brand new car, Jack Hawkswood's aim for today was to get through unscathed and learn as much as he could about the new car. This is the cutting edge of WRC2 rallying, and there are many differences to his older AP4 car. Great to see the Skoda R5 of Kingsley Jones back on the stages after missing Rally Bay of Plenty.
Will the Stokes name be engraved on the famous Rally Whangarei trophy? That's coming up next on the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship.
Stage 2, Waihui, is our feature stage this morning, 25 kilometres. A little rain falling in some parts of the stage, but fine here at the 9 kilometre split point. Hunt first on the road, and just look at how much dust he is creating as he drives through the thick gravel. That will be robbing speed out of the car.
Yeah, obviously we've got a pretty tough job out there sweeping all this light gravel off, and the roads are so hard, so it's like being on marbles. But yeah, it was a bit slower than last year here, but we're on a different tyre, so see what happens.
Just a second advantage to Robbie Stokes at the stage start. Now at the splits, Stokes has pulled out another second. The 2-minute gaps are helping, giving time for the dust to clear. Two cars ahead of Jack Stokes on the road. Will that make a difference in stage time? He was already 1.5 seconds ahead of his brother at the start of the stage. He's gained another 2.2 seconds here. Maybe the road position, plus the higher top speed of the AP4 car over the Rally 2 cars, is giving Jack the edge he needs. Time at the end of the stage, 13 minutes 24.4 seconds. He's taken 8 seconds off his brother. It's great to hear the enthusiasm for these stages from the drivers, and great to be back in the Kaipara district again. These are classic New Zealand roads, lots of camber so the drivers can dance the cars on the stages. That will be a challenge for Jack Hawkswood. Looks like the driving style required in this state-of-the-art Yaris GR is quite different to the AP4 car. Much more developed transmission, suspension, even the engine power. Today is the first step to getting this car on the podium in 2026. The Jones Skoda R5 is one of the oldest R5 cars. But if you remember Kingsley's interview earlier this year, he takes huge enjoyment out of being in a cool car. That's his words, with wife Waverley alongside. He'll be loving the way the car moves about on the road, sliding and dancing.
Worked pretty hard on the notes, to be honest. Yeah, a lot of effort into that, and then just tried to find a good rhythm and stay on the line. It's definitely had the benefit of 2 sweat lines in front of me, which helped. But yeah, we had a good run.
We're definitely learning plenty. You know, it's definitely a tough rally to debut a car on, but you know, we're just feeling our way into it, and we're just slowly learning away, and you know, just making a few setup adjustments to you know, sort of suit me a bit better. And you know, we're pretty fortunate. You know, we've got the likes of Ben Hunt and you know, Hayden, who's, you know, they've been driving these cars for years, and they sort of know their way around them. So it's really good to get their input on things.
3 more stages before another service. Stage 3, a rerun of Stage 2, Stage 4, the power stage, and Stage 5, Toka Toka. A total of 69 kilometres of special stages. Most drivers will opt to take 2 spare tyres and swap out the fronts after Stage 3. Still plenty of gravel on the Stage 3 start, but there does look to be a clear line on the road for Ben Hunt. We should see faster time for Ben. His time on Stage 2 was 13 minutes 35 seconds, and Jack Stokes' winning time was 13:24. Yes, this time's a lot quicker, 13 minutes and 4 seconds, more than 30 seconds faster. So expect a faster time for all the top drivers through this stage. Robbie trailed brother Jack by 8 seconds at the end of Stage 2, so would be hoping to win this stage and close the gap. Faster than Ben, 13 minutes, 0.8 of a second. Jack Stokes was ahead on the split times through Stage 2. But with the road conditions improved, can he hold that lead? Looks close coming down to the line. 13 minutes, 1.6 seconds. Just 0.8 of a second slower, so he will still hold the lead. Next up, Stage 4, the power stage, and a championship showdown. Ben Hunt just needs 3rd place or better on the stage to take an unassailable lead in the Nzrc for 2025. Hunt first through, and look at the dust trail from the thick gravel on the road. This could work against him. But there is rain falling late in the stage. This will help even the pace. His time, 13 minutes, 6.2 seconds. Robbie Stokes at the split point is 6 seconds faster. Ben would have to not finish the rally on day 1 or day 2 and have Robbie win both days and the overall rally and the power stage to beat Ben by a point for the crown. It's an almost impossible task, and with Ben already waiting at the finish line, Robbie will be more determined to win the rally and secure runner-up in the championship. He's faster than Hunt by 9 seconds. Jack Stokes was also looking for that elusive first win, and in a strong position, the Fiesta AP4 seems to have the edge on these roads. But the tables may turn on day 2, so he needs to extend his lead. So Robbie's time was 12 minutes 57.1 seconds. Jack 2 seconds faster to extend his lead, but 3rd on the stage is enough for Ben Hunt to take the title.
Ben Hunt, that time makes you the 2025 New Zealand Rally Champion. Well done.
Yeah, what a credit to our team and all the sponsors and Tony that put a lot into this. It was hard work in that stage, bloody enjoyable stage, but a lot of gravel on there to move around, so a lot of wheel spin, but yeah, love the season this far, and we're just going to push on to the end now.
A moment for Jack Hawkswood in the Rally 2 Yaris when he hit a culvert, but growing in confidence with the new car, tempered with a wish not to damage it. Kingsley Jones hadn't changed tyres after Stage 3, so he was struggling with worn front tyres and driving to the conditions to maintain his 5th position. The final stage before service, Toka Toka, another stage with WRC history from the late 90s and used in last year's Dargaville Rally. The road runs along the top of a ridge, and despite rain nearby on Stage 4, the conditions here were dry and dusty. And what a road to showcase the best of New Zealand rallying as Ben Hunt clears the gravel and creates a trail of dust. His time through the stage, 9 minutes 33 seconds. But up front, the battle was so close between the Stokes brothers. In a way, with the championship decided, Robbie Stokes can now target the rally win, even take a little risk. So let's take a ride with the Stokes team, Skoda versus Ford, as they head to the final kilometre of this 19-kilometre stage. So close, but the stage win goes to Robbie by just 0.3 of a second. But Jack holds on to the lead by 10.4 seconds. Jack Hawkswood was another driver who competed at Rally Dargaville, so he has some knowledge of the stage. With just one pass over the road during reconnaissance, any previous knowledge or onboard camera recording is invaluable. But of course, this is a new car, and Jack already realises that there is a big difference between the AP4 platform, which is 10 years old and Kiwi designed, and the up-to-date design and technology from the WRC, which has gone into the Yaris GR Rally 2. And Kingsley Jones would be loving just being on this stage. He is an avid rally fan and was probably spectating on the WRC here in 2001. And here he is driving a Skoda R5, a car developed in WRC competition across an iconic stage. So confirming, Jack Stokes leads Robbie by 10.4 seconds, then Hunt in third, just 24.7 back. It's slightly lower key than 2001 when the WRC came to town, but Ruawai is once again the centre of the rally world.
Ben Hunt, objective number 1 achieved.
Yeah, obviously it's awesome for the team and all the supporters. It's pretty tough out there, like first on the road, a lot of gravel compared to when we did Dargaville last year in the middle of winter. So the roads aren't as fast, but yeah, it's, that is what it is when you're first on the road, unfortunately. And you see, Mike and that in fourth on the road doing awesome, and Jack Stokes, so good on them.
Robbie, massive family battle, 10 seconds behind your brother. What have you got this afternoon?
Oh, hopefully 10 seconds at least. Yeah, no, he's going real good, but we're slowly just building into it. Just when the tyres go off, it's real hard to know how much he can push after they do go off. So, yeah, no, it's quite a good battle though. It's just trying to get through the stages with minimal mistakes and trying to stay tidy.
Pretty special too, battling this out with your brother.
Oh, definitely. He sort of said, "Oh yeah, I might take this one easy at the start of the last one," but I knew he was lying then, and I think it was only 0.3 in the end, so that's pretty cool.
How do you maintain that across the second loop and I guess looking into tomorrow?
Yeah, I guess you just got to adjust to what the road's done. Might have swept up a bit. There's a fair bit of heavy gravel in the first pass, so got to be aware of that. And then tomorrow we'll get there when we get there, I think.
Next up, the New Zealand two-wheel drive rally title is on the line, and we wrap up day one with skids at Poe Island in Whangarei. Welcome back to the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship here at the Vertex Oil International Rally at Whangarei. The NZ two-wheel drive rally championship is contested by drivers in Category 2, the Fiesta Rally 4 cars, Category 3, the open two-wheel drive cars, and Category 4, the historic trophy class. And it was the historic class driver, Dean Buist, who was the favourite to take the title, driving the Escort that Ari Vartanen had used in Rally New Zealand in 1977. Well, at least the registration.
Dean Buist had been seated at 12 in recognition of his speed over the season. Here are some of the four-wheel drive cars. 11th fastest on stage 1. He was 10th fastest on stage 2. While the gravel was cleared with the four-wheel drive cars up front, you can see that the Escort takes different lines, so it's losing traction in the loose gravel. Another Escort, this time the RS 1800 of Tim McIver, making his first trip to the northern stages, just 9 seconds slower than Buist on stage 2. Stephen Gill has been Buist's closest competition in the historic trophy. His Escort powered by a Hull Bay engine. This is the car which took Derek Asen to victory on an Otago Classic Rally when it had a Nissan engine in it. It was later changed to the Hull Bay engine to qualify for the historic trophy. Gill is currently second in points.
Ready?
Up against the Escorts on the more modern end of the rally world, 3 Ford Fiesta Rally 4 cars. Bryn Jones has held a narrow lead in the championship all season. He's gone head-to-head with the other Fiesta of Tim Mackesy.
Opens 20.
But it was Mackesy who held the advantage over the first 2 stages. Was 13 seconds down on Buist here and held a 6-second lead over Jones, beating him on both stages. Adding international interest, Japanese driver Fuyuhiko Takahashi returned to contest the final round of the championship in his Fiesta Rally 4. He'd chosen to come here despite WRC Japan being on the same weekend. Rally Whangarei has always been popular with Japanese drivers. Veteran Dave Strong was back with his rear-engine Honda Jazz after suffering engine problems on rounds 3 and 4, then using a spare car at Rally Bay of Plenty. His team had redesigned the oil system, rebuilt the engine, and were hoping for a strong result. He'd already had the Open 2-wheel drive title in the bag, but was hoping to grab 5th place in the 2-wheel drive championship from another veteran driver, Mike Cameron. In the 1970s, the Ford Escorts were famous for their speed on gravel, but the Mitsubishi Lancer was legendary for its toughness, which saw the Japanese Rally Art team victorious at events like the Safari Rally and the famed Southern Cross Rally in Australia. Mike Cameron has a 100% finishing record this season, which has put him in line for 3rd in the historic trophy, and with a mathematical chance of 2nd if Stephen Gilstroke's problems. Dean Buist extended his lead through stage 3 and then pushed hard on the power stage, taking the 5 points, looking likely to have the historic title. He'll have to keep up the pace to guarantee the 2-wheel drive title. Unfortunately, on stage 5, his day ended. Dean uses the supplied pace notes, chooses not to do reconnaissance. The kink over this crest caught him out, and he clipped a bank, breaking a control arm, and sliding into mud and out for the day. But worse to come for Stephen Gill. A huge accident on stage 4 saw the car hit a tree with severe damage. Gill suffered a broken collarbone and was taken to hospital for checks. The Escort will require major surgery over the off-season. Jones had been driving with caution, protecting his Cat 2 points, but co-driver Sean Lockyer gave him the nudge on the power stage and was faster than Mackesy for the first time today.
Yeah, Sean said, make sure that Tim doesn't get every stage win. So yeah, we gave it a bit of a nudge in there, and I'm pretty happy. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Mackesy would hold the class lead through the morning, with Buist and Gill out, who also lead the 2-wheel drive rally. With Gill out and unable to restart on day 2, Mike Cameron was now heading for 2nd place in the historic trophy. He kept going and finished the final stage on Sunday afternoon. Tim McIver's Escort is immaculately prepared, but check out his retro V8-powered Transit for 1970s style.
I think it all started from having sort of the matchbox set of the Mark II and the Mark II Transit, and thought, oh, why can't I do that in real life? And figure if I can't go fast, I might as well try and look good.
The rally would now loop through a repeat of stages 4 and 5, then head back to Whangarei via stage 8 north of Dargaville. The stages were hit by torrential rain in the afternoon. It wasn't dust and gravel challenging the times now, but rain and clay on the roads. Ben Hunt, searching for grip in the swept line left from the previous run through the stage. As the rain gets heavier, the standing water on the road causes the car to aquaplane, Hunt using all his skill to keep on track. But despite the conditions, his stage time was 10 seconds faster than the first run. Robbie Stokes just 4.5 seconds behind his brother at the start of this stage. Could he take advantage of the swept road despite the rain and take the lead here? The conditions near the stage end are not any better, and the road is slippery. Robbie's time 9 minutes 15. He's also 10 seconds faster than the first time through. So can Jack Stokes keep his rally lead here? He has come close, but never finished a day as leader. And there is a title on the line here for Jack. In the Junior Rally Championship, he trailed Josh Keeley by 1 point. The junior title is competed on the first day of all rallies, allowing the Rally Challenge competitors to be a part of the championship. If Jack beats Josh today, the title is his. He's doing everything he can. Wow, that was wild through the final corner.
180, 6 right plus.
Nine minutes 20.3. Faster than first time,
That was epic.
but not enough. He loses the lead by 0.6 of a second. Jack Hawkswood, steady through the stages, just gathering as much experience as he can. The the team are going to give the championship full priority in 2026. They're confident that this state-of-the-art Rally 2 Toyota can take Jack to his first Nzrc title. And his AP4 car may be seen on the stages too in the hands of 2017 Nzrc champion and father Andrew. Kingsley Jones had a disappointing start to the season. He was heading for 7th place finish at Rally Otago when he retired with an engine issue just 2 stages from the finish. With wife and number 1 sponsor Waverley alongside, he was enjoying driving these old WRC stages. The rain flooded out stage 8, so the crews headed straight to Whangarei, which was sunny. A short 2 laps of the Poe Island stage should be straightforward. Robbie Stokes nearly threw his rally away at the first jump, but recovered, only losing 5 seconds and handing the lead back to his brother Jack. But Jack Stokes' windscreen wipers had stopped working when it started raining on the second lap. He could barely see and lost 8 seconds, so the day would end with Robbie Stokes in the lead. In the two-wheel drive battle, Tim Mackesy led with a 30-second margin to Bryn Jones. It was a standout performance by Mackesy, who had been slightly slower than Jones all season. But a change in the front suspension had given him a sharper steering response, and the result was better stage speed. If Bryn Jones had been feeling the pressure with the Category 2 title on the line, that would have increased when he passed the stranded escort of Buist. He now had a real chance with the overall two-wheel drive championship, but he had to keep going and finish both days. Dave Strong would have wished that the Honda had been this reliable all season. A perfect day for the open two-wheel drive champion. And a great result for Tim McIver too. Big respect to these drivers who take valuable historic cars onto the stages and drive them hard as they were designed for. He wins the historic class for day 1 and leads the class in the rally from Mike Cameron. I think Mike Cameron would be amazed to finish second in the historics today, but even more proud of the fact that he was likely going to be second in the historic challenge if he finished the rally. So Robbie Stokes lucky to be leading by 4.8 seconds over brother Jack, Ben Hunt 31 seconds back in 3rd, so still in contention, Jack Hawkswood in 4th and Kingsley Jones in 5th. With the two-wheel drive championship, Tim Mackesy now with a 1 minute 20 second lead over Bryn Jones, Tim McIver in 3rd and leading historic, ahead of Dave Strong, Japan's Takahashi in 5th and Mike Cameron 6th.
Coming up, it's the Rally Challenge, and the battle for the Rally Whangarei title goes on through day 2. The Rally Challenge is competed on just day 1 of the final round of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. Caden McDonald competing in a lower spec H6 Subaru at Whangarei. Hayden McKenzie was the top seed in the challenge in his Toyota Proto. This car had a Yaris body on a Proto chassis, a shortened version of a Mitsubishi floor pan. Powered by a Mitsubishi Evo 10 engine and drivetrain, similar pace to a later model Mitsubishi Evo 9 or 10 or an Impreza WRX. Kenzie was fastest over the opening stages of the morning, winning the class on the power stage here as well. His main competition would come from local driver Ben Hubin in the Pro Drive WRX Impreza. Hubin had bad luck at Rally Coromandel, not finishing. Had it not been for that, he would have been a contender to take the Rally Challenge title. This car has history in the NZRC with 3 national titles in the hands of champion Richard Mason, so has the potential to win the class. Ben had generously loaned his H6 Subaru to Caleb McDonald to compete today, hoping that would be enough to give his friend the title.
You know you're a team owner now, you're a 2-car team.
Isn't it 3? We're only helping Julian as well with his car, so yeah.
While McDonald just had to score 1 point on the power stage and finish the day to take the title, he was finding the lower horsepower H6 a challenge to drive. He did, however, manage to take 1 point on the power stage. Josh Keeley was 10 points behind McDonald going into day 1. He'd have to win the day and the power stage to take the title. On stage 2, he slid wide and clipped a bank, losing over a minute, looking unlikely to beat McDonald for the title. Gavin Feast was 3rd through the morning stages in his Subaru. Gavin was just 3 points below Hubin in the top 3 position at the Rally Challenge, so whoever finished ahead would take that 3rd spot. Kevin Laird in his H6 Subaru had moved ahead of Keeley on stage 2. The two drivers were now in a close battle over the remaining stages to see who would come out on top in the Group A Challenge. The Southlander had not competed in the North Island before the start of this year, and the 2025 season has been a great experience for him, finding his pace on the roads here, which are quite different to the fast South Island stages. Julian Longley had repaired his Subaru, but discovered the engine was overheating at stage 2, so turned out the turbo and service to help. He was lucky to get away with this on stage 3.
Come on.
But showed his commitment over the bridge here. On reflection, the crash at Bay of Plenty had more effect on his confidence than he expected.
Gravel, 450.
With rain hitting the stages in the afternoon, Mackenzie backed off the pace through stage 7. The handy lead over Huband. There's little point in risking a crash at this stage. Conditions were very challenging, as we can see from the inside of the Subaru. Ben was still pushing hard, but keeping the gap to third place Gavin Feast. No doubt on a stage like this, the drivers would have preferred dry conditions. This is rallying, wet or fine, hot or cold. Gavin Feast was under some pressure from Josh Keeley, who was trying to make up that minute lost on stage 2, now under 30 seconds behind. As we heard at Bay of Plenty, Gavin is a latecomer to the sport, doesn't have a huge depth of experience to call on, and hasn't faced these conditions before. Josh Keeley has a similar level of experience, but he is young and hunting down both the Rally Challenge and Junior Rally title. Unfortunately, with stage 8 cancelled, he ran out of Ks and time to overtake Feast for third. The cars returned to Powie Island in much better weather conditions, chance to have some low-risk fun at the end of a full-on season.
So Hayden McKenzie takes the challenge win over Ben Hubert. Gavin Feast holding on to third from Josh Keeley. Kevin Laird ends his season with another 5th place. Julian Longley in 6th. And 7th to Caleb McDonald. And that was enough to secure McDonald the 2025 Rally Challenge over Josh Keeley by just 6 points. Hubert won back in 3rd. And that finish also means Jack Stokes is the 2025 Junior Rally Champion over Josh Keeley. And there was also the Rally Challenge 2-wheel drive, which had been hotly contested in the South Island rounds. Ian Warren had made the trip north to compete in the final round and so claimed the title. But unfortunately, a fuel pump failure sidelined him on stage 5. It had been a drive that was enough to take the title. Day 2 stages again south of Whangarei, but using different roads. The loop starts with Ruarangi Road, shortened to a 7.3 kilometre sprint. Then the 20 kilometres of Waikiki, Omana another sprint at 13 kilometres, then finishing the loop on the famous Bull Road at 20 kilometres. Service at Whangarei, then repeat to end the day. The start order changed now to reflect the results of day 1, so Robbie Stokes first on the road, and what a stage this is, an absolute rollercoaster ride. The roads are damp from yesterday's rain, but that means no dust, so this will make Robbie's work a little easier than Ben Hunt's on day 1. He sets a stage time at 4 minutes 3.5 seconds. The Stokes team were still having issues with Jack's windscreen wipers, so he will be hoping that it doesn't rain today. The AP4 Fiesta did have the pace on Saturday to challenge the Skodas. Will that be the same today on these roads? It's a short stage, so the times will be close. End of the stage and Jack is 5 seconds slower. That's a surprise. Ben Hunt said he lost time on Saturday pushing his way through heavy gravel. At 3 on the road, now he's in a good position to take the day 2 lead. Ben's time, 4 minutes 4.3 seconds. Less than a second slower than Robbie. He seems happy. Jack Hawkswood starts the day only a minute 30 behind Ben Hunt. If anything happens to the top 3, a puncture, a crash or a mechanical issue, he is still in with a chance for a rally podium. Kingsley Jones started his season at Otago with a great rally on both days until he retired with 2 stages to go. He'll be hoping that today does not end like that and he can score a strong finish to the season. Stage 12 was our feature stage of the morning. Again, conditions cloudy, but no rain as Robbie Stokes opens the stage. Already we can see that the road conditions are better than Saturday morning, but the MRF tyres are still clearing a lot of gravel as Robbie dances his way through the stage. When the WRC drivers of the past talked about the nature of New Zealand roads and how they could use the crests to flow the cars on the gravel, it was these roads that they were referring to. Yes, New Zealand has classic stages like Motu and Whangarei Coast, but it's these roads here on the border of the Kaipara and Whangarei districts which have made Rally New Zealand so popular in the past. We're privileged to once again have access to these stages. Being a junior driver, these roads are all new to Jack Stokes, who only graduated to the four-wheel drive class this year. Like Robbie and Ben Hunt, Jack has followed the tried and true path of starting in a two-wheel drive car to learn his skills before bursting onto the scene at the top level of New Zealand rallying. So let's see if he can pull back some time on his big brother.
Long one right over, half long one right over finish. 10, high full rights.
12 minutes 15 seconds. He's 1.4 seconds faster. The lead now down to 8.4 seconds.
Nice.
Ben Hunt does have knowledge of these roads and is familiar with the stage conditions. Look how he is hunting out the lines in the road, searching for grip. But will he get the advantage from running third on the road? Down to the finish line. 12 minutes 24.5 seconds. That's 9 seconds slower than Jack. Surprising. Just watching the Rally 2 Yaris on these stages is exciting as we look forward to 2026. With at least 5 Rally 2 cars and up to 4 of the older model R5 cars along with a couple of AP4 cars competing for glory. And Jack Hawkswood is building in confidence with a day of competition under his belt. And confidence is what you need on these roads. Kingsley Jones enjoying being back on the stages, and just watching here, you can see that he has found a great rhythm. The R5 Skoda isn't as fast as the newer Rally 2 Evo Skodas, but the speeds of these cars here are very close to the WRC cars that we have seen here before.
Double pressure here for Bryn Jones. He has to finish the day to be crowned Cat 2 champion over Tim Mackesy, and he has to finish the day to claim the overall two-wheel drive rally title. Bryn is passionate and at times emotional, and he's so committed to the sport. We're doing well to keep all that under control as the day progresses, hopefully managed by his co-driver Sean Lockyer. He was just 0.3 seconds slower than Buist on this stage. Pressure of a different kind on Tim Mackesy. Changes he made to the car have seen him match or better Jones's pace throughout Saturday. And again here on stage 12, Tim is fastest two-wheel drive, now with a 32-second lead over Jones. This is going to go down to the final stage. All Dean Buist can do is keep driving the stages. He has the historic title. The two-wheel drive title will only come if Jones falters. Having said that, any day you get to rally a BDA Escort on these stages is a great day. It's sometimes easy to forget that drivers like Buist and here Tim McIver are in the sport because they love driving their amazing historic cars. We love watching them and hearing them on the stages. So at Poe Island service, Robbie Stokes leads the rally by 7.4 seconds. Tim Mackesy leading two-wheel drive, 36 seconds ahead of Bryn Jones. Tim McIver leads the historics.
Well, Jack Stokes, we're now a day and a half into this two-day rally, and it's still no clearer between you and your brother as to who's going to win this thing.
Yeah, it's been a bloody awesome battle this morning. He went real good in the first one, but then we've managed to get tiny little bits back in these last two, and then the end of the last stage, I think it was only like a tenth of a second or something like that, which is it's pretty cool, yeah.
Robbie Stokes is just 7 seconds in this family battle. It is so intense.
Yeah, I mean, started off with I think 4 seconds. Now we've gained 3, but man, it's just so tight. Yeah, we're really pushing, and obviously Jack is as well. So yeah, so cool to have him up front battling with us, and yeah, we'll see what happens in the afternoon.
It's going to be the toughest day of my life, to be honest with you. We just have to keep doing what we're doing, just keep the concentration up and just get to the end.
The final loop of stages of the rally, and we are back at Whangarei Road. The road well swept and perfect for the top drivers. Robbie Stokes really determined now to win this rally. He was fastest at Bay of Plenty, but excluded after the finish, so this is his chance to put his name on the Rally Whangarei trophy alongside some very famous people. Ben Hunt and Tony Rawstorn. multiple New Zealand rally champions, 4 times for Ben and 5 times for Tony. The win here looks out of reach, but it is a victorious weekend for these two mates. Stokes' time of 3 minutes 53.8. Hunt's time, just 0.7 seconds slower. None of these drivers are backing off here. Jack Stokes losing a few seconds on the stage, but still comfortably second to his brother and heading to a great finish. But on the next stage, he hits a culvert and it's a disaster. With 13 kilometres left to run in the stage, they have to stop and change it, losing 3 minutes. On a positive note, I see the windscreen wipers are working. So, Jack Hawkswood moves to 3rd place of the rally with a narrow margin of 18 seconds to Jack Stokes in 4th. Just showing that in this sport, it's definitely not over until the end of the final stage.
And there was more drama to come. With just 3 stages left in the rally, Tim Mackesy held a 26-second lead over Bryn Jones in the 2-wheel drives. But in the next stage, he would hit the same culvert as Stokes, losing 2 minutes and the 2-wheel drive lead. Mike and Helen Cameron brought the Mitsubishi Lancer home, 11th finisher over the 2 days, and 2nd in the historic class, which makes them 2nd in the Historic Rally Challenge for 2025. A fitting end for Helen, to be retiring from co-driving now, although we're not sure what Mike's plans are for the future. 10th place for our driver from Japan, Fuyuhiko Takahashi, in the Rally 4 Fiesta, makes him 2nd in the Motorsport New Zealand International Driver Trophy, a driver who we welcome back if he returns in 2026. Dave Strong finishing in 9th and going home with the Open 2-Wheel Drive Championship, but not the Gold Card Trophy for older drivers. Mike Cameron taking that by finishing the event. Tim McIver wins the Historic Challenge on this event. We'll be hoping to see Tim and his amazing Ford Transit Retro team back in 2026 for a full season. Tim Mackesy putting the disappointment of the puncture behind him, taking the Fiesta to another 2-wheel drive stage win here, but taking away the MRF driver of the rally for his overall performance and for showing a big step up in pace over 2 days.
Left plus closes K100.
Bryn Jones winning the Category 2 title here with this performance, well deserved as he's been fastest driver all season. What about the 2-wheel drive championship? Dean Buist had returned to the stages on day 2. Remember, there are still day points up for grabs. He was the fastest 2-wheel drive on day 2, so earning 7 points. But it wasn't enough, and Bryn Jones is crowned 2-wheel drive rally champion for 2025.
A brush with a log had left a scar on Kingsley Jones's Skoda, but a great end to the season for him, 5th place overall. A final stage win for Jack Stokes here, just proving how much pace the young Canterbury driver has and how exciting it will be to see him in a Rally 2 Skoda in 2026. That puncture not only cost him 2nd in the rally, but an opportunity to fight his brother for the rally win. It was a rally to learn on for Jack Hawkswood, but consistency was rewarded for the Auckland driver, who drove a clean race to 3rd place and no doubt has done lots of learning with this new car. That result was enough for him to wrap up 3rd in the championship. Not a rally win, but 2nd place to Robbie Stokes here, an indication of how close Hunt and Stokes are in terms of pace. In the end, Ben Hunt has not always been the fastest driver on the stages, but the wins in Otago, South Canterbury and Coromandel set him up for victory at this final round. He has been under huge pressure this weekend from Hunt and his brother Jack, but Robbie Stokes has responded with a fine drive, winning both days. It's some consolation to losing out at Bay of Plenty, which really robbed him of a shot at the championship. But the prestige of a win on an international event like Whangarei will go some way towards compensating.
You've won Rally Whangarei. Awesome result, mate. Awesome drive today. How are you feeling, mate?
Pretty tired, but it hasn't quite sunk in. To be on the same trophy as those names is incredible. What a difficult career it's been, and just stuck to it and stuck to our guns, and it's all finally starting to happen. And just so grateful for everyone that's been behind me the whole way through. It's been tough, but this makes it all worth it.
4 times New Zealand Rally champion, mate. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's bloody awesome. It hasn't sunk in. I guess it'll sink in when I'm not getting to sleep tonight. But yeah, fantastic effort by all the team and everyone that puts in a lot of effort, you know, during the weeks, staying up late, away from their wives, and yeah, bloody awesome. Thanks to all our sponsors, Vantage, Skoda, Petronas, and everyone else that makes it a big happen. Speed Up, Paul, bloody legend. Yeah, thank you very much.
So confirming Robbie Stokes wins by 1 minute 15 in the end over Ben Hunt, Jack Hawkeswood a surprise third, Jack Stokes fourth, and Kingsley Jones ahead of two-wheel drive champion Bryn Jones in sixth. Celebration for Bryn Jones, two-wheel drive and Cat 2 champion.
Okay, looking this way. Here we go.
Ben Hunt, 4 times New Zealand Rally champion, alongside Tony Rawston, 5 times co-driver champion.
Okay, looking this way, guys. There you go.
A season of highs and lows, and we'll be back with more in 2026. New cars, new stars, and a new calendar. Starting at Otago, heading to Canterbury, then down to Invercargill for a Southland Rally, back up for a return to Hawke's Bay, round 5 at Rally Whangarei, and finishing in the Bay of Plenty.